Damn.
These are the funniest fake Minecraft speedruns. Even though this speedrun has a timer at the top left of their screen, if we zoom out, things are not looking too good. They've got some experience points, they're level 1, and I cannot remember the last time I spawned in front of a tree like this. Buddy is literally talking to a brick wall. Within the first 2 seconds, they back away from the tree, and in the distance, we can see the world's goofiest ruined nether portal ever. Who are you trying to fool here? My grandma could have made a better fake nether portal. And freeze frame, hold it right here. Tony, do a zoom. Is that a wandering traitor on the right? Why is he just standing still, staring at us menacingly? While the speedrunner approaches this goofy ruined nether portal, opening up the chest, finding an unusual amount of obsidian. I personally am way too lazy to fact check if this is even legitimate, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say no, it's not. Enchanted armor, diamond weapons and tools. This is a load of barnacles. On top of that, hold the phone, pause the video. What is that item floating in the ocean in our peripherals? Nah, this guy is crossing the line. We're gonna have to find out soon what in tarnation that is. This speedrunner is just such a goofball. It does not help their case that they are blasting ridiculous royalty-free music in the background. Hey guys, it was not royalty-free, so I have to beatbox the music for you instead. Enjoy. They're trying to fill in the ruined nether portal. They're getting hit by the magma blocks. This is just so ridiculous. Did they really put in the extra effort to sync the royalty-free music to when they light the ruined nether portal? So yes, the speedrunner lights the ruined nether portal, entering the nether in a world record 1 minute. Hang on a second though, I hope their computer is okay because it literally took them 30 seconds to load up the nether. They are definitely playing on their grandma's like Intel Pentium. The computer right now is like SpongeBob when he needs water. That thing is struggling to breathe. And hang on just a second. As soon as the speedrunner gets into the nether, I must have missed like 1,000 updates for the speedrun, because why are there doors directly in front of them? And then when they open up the doors, oh no, no. I was not mentally prepared for this. It has been ages since we have encountered the illustrious PP Trader. This is the equivalent of Thanos returning in the MCU. This truly is an earth-shattering moment. While the speedrunner opens up the chest, the gift from the PP Trader, there's a ton of blaze powder, a ton of ender pearls, a bunch of diamond blocks. It's very clear that this speedrun is fake. And I'm not sure what's going on, but there is a chest on the side in this very rare structure. Inside the chest is crimson stem, a crafting table, and sticks. I'm not really sure how that's supposed to help the speedrunner, but okay. Good luck, buddy, with your crimson stems. So the speedrunner, I can't speak. So the speedrunner puts their crafting. Yeah, I give up. So the speedrunner puts their crafting table down, trying to craft something with these diamond blocks. But unfortunately, their crafting table lights on fire. The speedrunner panics, everything is on fire now. Their nether portal isn't lit anymore. What, are they being haunted by Herobrine? Or worse, they could be haunted by Noel right now. I was. Oh, nope, never mind. Tony, do a zoom. If you look on the top of the screen, you can very clearly see a ghast. So that must explain the fire everywhere. Well, like a coward, this speedrunner flees the scene, returning to the overworld. They make their eyes of ender, throwing an eye of ender into the sky. What in the world did I just... What? Yeah, what in the world did I just witness? The speedrunner throws their eye of ender into the sky. Then they just start mining everything in front of them like a maniac. And within a split second, they just fall into a ditch directly beneath them. And there is a complete end portal just hanging out, all dressed up with nowhere to go. What in tarnation? So yeah, just like that, the speedrunner is in the end. Why am I not surprised? Even though they are entering the end in world record time, they waste a world record amount of time turning their crimson stems into planks. I don't know what Buddy's angle is here, but it's like he just flew in from Stupid Town. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have a brain aneurysm watching any more of this speedrun. This guy is literally using planks to get over to the center of the end island, but he has ender pearls in his inventory. He could just toss one. Hang on a second. Who in the world is that? Oh my gosh, there's no way. Is that the world's most famous speedrunner ever? Snake Death 45? I kid you not, these two goofballs waste a solid 10 seconds in their speed run, and I'm air quoting right now, just standing, staring at each other blankly before something happens. You have to watch this. It is ridiculous. After just staring at each other menacingly, Snake Death gives our speedrunner a piece of paper that is called the Gift of Creative, at which point the speedrunner attempts putting themselves into creative mode, but it doesn't work out because they don't know how to spell. Yeah, what is /GameO? That's almost half as bad as when people misspell my username. I mean, come on guys, what are you doing? Andaria is so majestic, aerial tramway emoji. We believe you. Anundaria, undad, nayan. I love disliking Ayo. Ayo, what the hell never fails to deliver? I hope you get 1 million subscribers this year. Ayaduru. Obama, ACDC, arachnophobia. Yeah, this is just ridiculous. I heavily regret not picking a YouTube username that was just easier to spell. Anyways, point being, the speedrunner puts themselves into creative mode. I'm hereby declaring this speedrun fake. I know now for sure without a doubt this is fake. Despite all of this speedrun is just a lost cause. This guy is floating around trying to whack at the Ender Dragon. He's nowhere even close to the dragon. This is honestly just painful to watch. The dragon descends to the center of the end island. The speedrunner is ready in hand with a bed, and then they just don't put the bed down. Then they equip a plank and they start hitting the Ender Dragon with a plank, and then it flies away. Buddy really misses every single shot that he takes. Then he sets up the bed and right clicks on it by accident. So the dragon descends again. The speedrunner once again is not ready. They start whacking at the dragon with their diamond sword, and the dragon leaves again. This time around, the speedrunner does get some hits on the dragon with the bed. I don't know what's happening though. They catch on fire. You could see Tony do a zoom. Snake Death is in the distance, just not being useful whatsoever. I mean, come on guys, if you're gonna cheat at this, you might as well do it well. And yes, finally, the speedrunner defeats the Ender Dragon. It literally took them more time to kill the Ender Dragon while in creative mode than it did for them to do everything else in the speedrun. And yeah, just like that, an easy peasy world record speedrun by a player who literally looks like an anime character. Buddy, what is going on with your hair right now? What is this, season 2 of Squid Game? Did you dye your hair red? Oh brother, this speedrun looks so goofy. Tony, do a zoom out. Your game has been updated to survival mode. We have a full-on YouTuber intro for the beginning of this speedrun.
My name is Habibi and today I am speedrunning the Minecraft again.
In today's video, my name is Habibi and I'm speedrunning Minecraft. I'm not gonna make a big deal about it, but why does their timer look like that? They've got like the slow-mo effect on the timer and it's really bothering me. So yeah, the speedrunner spawns in a village. They're walking around. In the distance, there is a structure made of TNT that looks rather suggestive. What in tarnation? And I'm sorry, what did he just say?
Oh look guys, I'm naturally attracted to the TNT. It's my favorite thing in life.
What a weirdo. Wait, I'm sorry. Did he just say my favorite thing in life? What? Well, the speedrunner enters this house. They find a chest, opening it up, and there is a bunch of nonsense loot inside of the chest. Netherite leggings with all of these enchantments at level 255. This is just so stupid. I'm sorry, what did he just say? In the new Saudi Arabia version of Minecraft?
Oh my god guys, this is the 0.0% root in the new Saudi Arabia version of Minecraft guys. This is the called the rich man loot, guys. This villager got rich off the oil supplies.
Buddy, I'm playing Java vanilla version. What are you playing? Now hang on a second. There is this mystery. Why did the speedrunner spawn with a lightning rod in their inventory? Well, you're about to find out. The speedrunner puts their lightning rod down during stormy weather, and they are trying to explain that in this new Saudi Arabia version of Minecraft, if you put your lightning rod down and stand on it, you can summon God.
I've heard in the new version, if you get a lightning rod, you can actually summon God.
But hang on a second. There is a monkey wrench thrown into this speedrunner's plans. There is a creeper cropping up on them. So the speedrunner runs away, and then, hold the phone, Tony, do a zoom. Who is that? Who is that man floating in the sky? Well, the speedrunner takes care of business, takes care of that creeper. Then they get struck by lightning on the lightning rod. They look up, and yep, could it be God? But wait, this gets so much worse. Oh my gosh. When the speedrunner wipes out that creeper, they get an advancement, and I'm not even gonna say their username out loud. Let's just put the pieces together here. Buddy said he likes TNT. He said he's using the Saudi Arabia version of Minecraft. And then his username is what? Then I kid you not, I don't want to get copyright struck here, but as God is descending from the sky, is that Duel of the Fates from Star Wars playing in the background?
Oh, look, guys, it's Allah! Oh my god. Can you believe it, guys? Oh my god. This, guys, is in the new version of the Minecraft. So, Allah, can you please help me with my speedrun, please? Oh, guys, he said yes.
The speedrunner says, oh, please help me with my speedrun, God. And then the person playing has their head like hinging up and down, like a full 360 degrees range of motion. If that happened in real life, your head would not be attached to its body anymore. Then, with a wild twist of events, God punches a villager and kills him. What is this? A Grox video? I don't think so. This is an A&R video. And the speedrunner's reaction is just so funny.
Let's follow him, let's follow it. Allah, that was quite unnecessary.
Now keep in mind, we are like 3 minutes into this speed run. I'm air quoting speed run. And I just noticed now, their timer says 28 seconds. This is the world's slowest timer. Well, I don't know what incarnation is happening. The speedrunner enters this house, they open the chest, they get a bunch of crazy loot, gold blocks, obsidian, flint and steel, yada yada yada. And while the speedrunner is acquiring this loot, you can see that God just slayed another one of his own. How cruel. Not accurate.
This is so lucky. All we got to do now is build the nether... What's this, guys? Literally a bomb. Oh, yes.
What the heck? Yeah, Duel of the Fates, the choir is going in the background, and the speedrunner sees a new structure. This is a new update to Minecraft that I am not familiar with. The lottery, what? And why is the speedrunner so giddy and excited about this new structure? Inside of this new structure is a chest full of emerald blocks. But hang on a second, now I think I know what that sign is all about. Because even though they just acquired a ton of amazing emerald block loot, Duel of the Fates going in the background, the speedrunner says, wait, what's that sound?
The speedrun is going very... What is that noise, Allah?
Yeah, a ton of TNT sets off. It is a miracle that the speedrunner is still alive. What in tarnation? The next few moments are just such a load of barnacles. The speedrunner is yapping and yapping about some nonsense about the newest Minecraft update, the Pearl Piglin. I have personally never heard about this update.
There is a 0.2% chance in the new version of the Minecraft that you can spawn in the Pearl Piglin's base.
It's such a load of nonsense. The speedrunner climbs up this tree with vines conveniently hanging all about. While they're climbing up this tree, someone gets an advancement, and it's not... I'm not gonna say the speedrunner's username out loud. But we find out that God is actually Snakes Robs. Oh, come on. What a sham. So the speedrunner decides to build a nether portal with their obsidian on the top of this tree. They light the portal, entering the nether with God, Snakes Robs. And yeah, as soon as the speedrunner enters the nether, Tony, do a zoom. That is a sign that says Pearl Piglin's secret base. Well, I stand corrected. Yeah, the Pearl Piglin is here. They throw their gold blocks at the Pearl Piglin. They throw their blocks at the Pearl Piglin. I can't speak. They throw their blocks at the Pearl Piglin, opening the chest. Our speedrunner has gotten another advancement. Again, I am just not gonna say that username out loud. And inside the chest is a bunch of ender pearls. Well, after getting everything that the speedrunner needs, they open up the door, and in the distance, what is that? Is that a sign that says not the corridor to the fortress? How obvious could you be? And I'm sorry, but it is just so funny to me how the speedrunner with this accent is reading the sign as the choir from Duel of the Fates is blasting in the background.
Not the corridor to the fortress. Guys, I have a feeling that this is the corridor to the fortress.
Why did the speedrunner put Duel of the Fates playing in the background of their fake speedrun? Look, I don't have any complaints. I just saw episode 3 in theaters. I've been rewatching all the old Star Wars movies, and I think that Duel of the Fates is such a good song. There is another sign in the distance with arrows on it. Guys, I don't know about you, but when I try to speedrun Minecraft, I'm just not getting these features. Within seconds, the speedrunner does find a nether fortress. And then you hear the goofball of a speedrunner say this.
Oh look, a conveniently placed blaze spawner.
And holy crap, out of nowhere, like billions of blaze just spawn. I have never seen this happen before in my entire career of reviewing these painfully horrible fake Minecraft speedruns that literally give me brain aneurysms daily. How is the speedrunner surviving this? And how did they get a stone sword out of nowhere? This is just so stupid and ridiculous. You could hear the speedrunner say, oh, let's just get 1 or 2 blaze rods, guys. And Tony, do a zoom. They have 64 blaze rods in their inventory.
Let's just get 1 or 2 blaze rods, guys. Just 1 or 2.
What in the world? What a load of barnacles. What in tarnation? Their stone sword has sharpness 255 and looting 255. The chances of this happening are so low, lower than the chances that you guys spell my username correctly in the comment section. While the speedrunner is making their way back to their nether portal, Snakes Robs, aka God, types in chat effect give speed to 255 true, but they never do the slash command, so it's just text on the screen, not doing anything. This is just so sad. And then, after that slip up, there's another text that pops up on the screen, and Snakes Robs just says, sorry from Allah. That is just goofy. This speedrun is just so much nonsense. The speedrunner replies to that text chat, and they go, oh, no worries. And then while they are entering the nether portal, they go, oh, look, the Pearl Piglin found a friend.
No worries, bro. No worries. Oh, look. But the Pearl Piglin found a friend.
The speedrunner jumps off this huge tree, somehow surviving the fall. And it looks like God does the same thing, but doesn't survive. So the speedrunner turns their blaze rods into blaze powder, creating eyes of ender. They throw their eye of ender into the sky. And hang on a second, when did their speedrunner reset? Just a moment ago, we were at 1 minute and 20 seconds. And now all of a sudden we're back at 40 seconds. And while the speedrunner is totally legitimately trying to locate the stronghold, you can see their friend Snakes Robs just zipping through the sky. No big deal. The speedrunner is still trying to locate the stronghold, and all of a sudden a text box pops up on the screen from Snakes Robs and says, from Allah, with just 2 coordinates. This is so stupid and ridiculous. And while that's happening, Duel of the Fates is still playing in the background, and the speedrunner will not stop yapping about how there's rigged explosives in the stronghold. Buddy, what are you talking about?
There is rigged explosives underneath the Ender Dragon.
Hang on a second. Tony, I know I've asked you for like 1,000 zooms at this point, but do a zoom. What is that in the distance? Are we gonna find out? Yes, we will. Well, the speedrunner says, guys, I think I found where the stronghold is.
Guys, I think I found where the stronghold actually is.
What in the world is the speedrunner yapping about? He's saying, what?
I can't believe this, guys. Good job I turned on my camera, because I was about to go fly airplane.
Well, yeah, we did find out what this is. Someone constructed an obelisk in the distance to point out, hey, here's the stronghold. They even went as far as to dig a ginormous hole into the ground, leading to, I kid you not, you can't make this up, the end portal completely filled with Eyes of Ender. So in world record, I don't know what time, the speedrunner enters the end, and luckily this speedrunner has at least a quarter of a brain. They use an Ender Pearl to teleport over to the end island, but when you think it just can't get worse, it gets 10 billion schmillion times worse. Their timer resets to 0 seconds, and what in tarnation am I looking at on the screen? Is this the 1 in a million chance rigged explosive end island occurrence? I am just so confused. God was killed by the Ender Dragon using magic, and then while it is happening, Duel of the Fates is still playing in the background, and the speedrunner is waiting for the dragon to perch, and while they are doing so, they're given like an icebreaker Severance style, hey, here are 10 fun facts about me, and he will not stop talking about flying planes to the United States. You gotta listen to this.
So guys, a bit more about me from the Ara Who Plays channel. My name is Habibi. My parents run an oil rig. They are very, very rich, and I live in Saudi Arabia. And my hobbies and interests are such as flying planes to the United States, including New York.
I'm sorry, what? Including New York? Why did you have to slip that in?
And also committing acts of terrorism.
Huh? I'm sorry. No, there must be some sort of mix-up or confusion here. This must be lost in translation. Did he just say committing what? Who submitted this speed run? Put your hand up right now. I swear, if you guys submitted this speed run to me for the sake of making a September 2001 joke, I am not gonna be happy. All ridiculousness and weirdness aside, the speedrunner is just wasting so much of my time. Snakes Robs types in chat, Ender FDTR/Agon P search. I think he was trying to see if there was a command to make the dragon perch, but this is just mortifying. It's embarrassing. Get off the stage, you stink. Well, with a wild turn of events, the timer somehow is back to 0 seconds. This guy's timer malfunctions just as much as you guys are unable to spell my username. The speedrunner is unable to find their lever for the rigged explosives, but they find the lever, turn it on, and unfortunately the explosives are a dud. What an embarrassment. Nope, never mind, the explosives go crazy. There are flying TNT carts zooming through the sky. The dragon was obliterated. And yeah, just like that, the speedrunner casually gets the Minecraft world record at 6 minutes and 59 seconds. After dropping the weirdest, most alarming statements that someone could ever say, oh, I like flying planes to the United States, specifically New York City, the speedrunner just drops a casual YouTuber outro. Also, make sure to like and subscribe, guys. Thanks for watching this one.
So guys, thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, share.
I know that you guys are pranking me with this one. You better knock it off. No more jokes like this. That's it. I'm pulling the plug. This speedrun right off the bat. They're clearly in creative mode. And Tony, do a zoom out. Those trees do not look vanilla. I have a feeling we are going to be in for a wild ride. The speedrunner turns around and they find the world's most majestic ruined nether portal. I have no idea what I am witnessing here, but somehow this is a thing. And the speedrunner's reaction to what they are seeing is so over the top.
Let's go around.
Things just get so much worse. The speedrunner looks around and they find a chest at this, I'm air quoting, ruined nether portal. Inside the chest is pretty much everything you would ever need to beat the game. What a load of horseradish. What's even worse is their reaction to this. Headphone users, brace your ears. This scream is a little over the top. Just a little. And yeah, just like that, they finally realize that they're in creative mode, so they go into survival mode. So the speedrunner enters the nether portal, entering the nether. I don't know what is happening. This speedrunner is like a walking thesaurus. If you listen to his microphone, he's just repeatedly describing the nether with a ton of very eloquent synonyms.
This nether sure is hot, blazing, boiling, heated, humid, red, scorching, sizzling, sultry.
I don't know what sort of updates I missed. Every single time I review your speedruns, I feel like Captain America waking up from his frozen hibernation. I mean, since when did the nether even look like this? And again, the speedrunner's reaction is just so over the top.
Oh jeez, I'm seeing a bridge in the distance. Is this a super big? This is an incandescent like nether fortress, guys.
I mean, this nether fortress is just so ginormous. The speedrunner is fighting a ton of skeletons. They're fighting a ton of blaze. They get their blaze rods, turning them into blaze powder, and creating some eyes of ender. I am so lost with this speedrun. The speedrunner is wasting a ton of time harassing the piglins with crystal PvP, while the speedrunner exits the nether fortress going up a huge set of stairs, and then above them, what in tarnation is that?
Super purplicious ender star, guys.
The super powerful purplicious endostar? Yeah, that's it. I'm all set. I'm turning the speedrun off. It gets so much worse. The speedrunner found a sword called the Demon Slayer. Their reaction is just ridiculous.
Oh my guys. That is a demon slayer.
After this, there is a huge cut to the speedrun. So much lost footage, like the SpongeBob lost tapes. One moment we're in the nether, and the next moment we're in the overworld. What happens in between is completely up to our imagination. Then the speedrunner makes their footage go at hyper speed. They're digging down, and as soon as we're back to normal speed, it very clearly says set on game mode to spectator mode, set on game mode to survival. The only thing that is legitimately survival mode is me trying to survive watching these speedruns. They go down the staircase. There is a hallway of command blocks. I'm in physical pain right now.
Now we just go down the staircase, guys.
They're in some sort of hyper-updated stronghold where the pathway to the end game portal is paved with command blocks. They open up a chest in the portal room. It is full of TNT. I'm not saying this with a lot of enthusiasm. What in tarnation? So they fill the ender portal with eyes. Oh, nope, never mind. Record scratch. They run out of eyes of ender. And in a split second, they're typing in a /give command to give themselves 1,000 eyes of ender. Why am I not surprised? So they fill the end portal with eyes, jumping into the portal, and now they're in the end. This speedrunner is shamelessly bridging with barrier blocks. They're breaking the crystals until they blow themselves up by accident. And then they're swearing off camera. Oh man, do you kiss your mother with that mouth? There is another cut. It says set own game mode to survival. And yes, the way that the speedrunner defeats the Ender Dragon is with crystal PvP. And you can bet that the speedrunner was very excited.
We've defeated the Ender Dragon, guys.
Hang on a second though, what is the speedrunner doing? All they have to do is enter the endgame portal, and then they'll be crowned as the world record holder for the worst fake Minecraft speedrun of all time. But instead they fly away from the island, and in the distance is this like creative mode dragon creation. It's really cool to look at, but buddy, can you just like beat the game? And yeah, they put down a ton of TNT blocks, ignite it, and blow everything up, including themselves. And after a very, very long silence, filled with feelings of disappointment and defeat, the speedrunner lets out one final scream. Good riddance. The speedrunner creates their world and everything is looking normal. World creation seems legitimate. They're selecting the first slot. They're looking ahead. But hang on a second. As soon as they start moving, they are using a timer, not a stopwatch. Buddy, that's not how speedruns work. So the speedrunner spawns in what seems like the middle of nowhere. I'm not sure why, but they run around this tree. A little suspicious, but let's just roll with it. Well, nothing looks different. So the speedrunner jumps into the ocean and they're swimming. And would you look at that, straight ahead is a village. How lucky is that? So the speedrunner enters this village and everything seems very normal. But hang on a second. This house on the right, the door is already open. Totally legit. Inside this house, the speedrunner opens up the chest and they do find items that I believe to be legitimate. Some snowballs, an ice block, some seeds, some bread, a potato. But the speedrunner only takes the blue ice, the bread, and they break the bed. Then the speedrunner puts the blue ice down in a very specific spot. Weird, but okay. They go in another house, opening the chest and only taking potatoes, 2 emeralds, and they break this bed. They go in another house, take more potatoes, take more beds, more potatoes, more bread, another one, another one, another one, another bed, more bread, another bed. Hang on a second. This village is the size of New York City. How many beds are there? I'm trying to figure out why this speedrunner has wasted 3 whole minutes just collecting potatoes, bread, and beds. What is this guy, Dwight Schrute? Bears beats Battlestar Galactica? Anyways, I don't know if I'm being paranoid now, but the speedrunner enters this house. They go inside to upgrade gear, and I don't know if I'm overthinking it, but the top left slot has nothing in it, and then all of a sudden there is an icon present. Again, I don't know if I'm overthinking this. I could just be paranoid, but nothing seems fake about this speedrun yet. This guy has 13 beds. And if you look back at one of my older videos called Beating Minecraft the Right Way, I'm pretty sure there's footage in there of me once cycling the dragon with like 4 or 5 beds. You do not need 13 beds if you are speedrunning Minecraft. Just wait, it gets worse. Watch this next moment and tell me if you notice anything unusual about it. Rewind the video if you didn't notice it and try and take a better look. Yeah, that's right. If you look closely, there is a very sudden cut. The only indication is that the edges of the screen get slightly darker if I go frame by frame. Why, you might ask, there would be a sudden cut while this speedrunner is just collecting beds? Yeah, that's why. I think this guy is gonna make the American flag out of beds. Now again, watch these next few moments and tell me if you notice what's going on here. Yeah, that's right. If I go frame by frame, there is another very sudden cut. Going from the last frame to the next, they're selecting a different slot on their hotbar. You can also notice a big skip in their motion forward. Well, genuinely, nothing looks different here. So I do wonder if this speedrunner was making unnecessary cuts to throw us off of their trail. I don't know. Well, the speedrunner approaches a very inconspicuous blob of coal ore on the ground, and they begin putting beds down in a very particular manner on this coal ore. And it's really tough to say what happens here because as soon as the speedrunner turns around, there is just a lit nether portal right behind them. What in tarnation? The only thing I can imagine is that if I go frame by frame, there is a very sudden moment where they are selecting a different slot on their hotbar. What I think is going on here is that this speedrunner is kind of like a sleight of hand magician. They're just doing all sorts of wacky stuff in front of us so that we're not paying attention to the real cheating that's going on here. Well, the speedrunner does enter the nether, and unfortunately where they spawn in is not so good. There is literally nothing here. So I genuinely don't know what the speedrunner is gonna do next. Wait a second, what in the world are they doing? Yeah, hang on a second. Did you see what just happened there? If I go frame by frame, we can very clearly see the particles in the air suddenly being in completely different areas, as well as them selecting, again, another slot in their inventory. And when they turn around, the nether portal is gone, and it's replaced by a chest and an armor stand with full netherite armor. Oh, brother, way to be obvious. So the speedrunner takes their spoils of war and they equip their full netherite armor, opening the chest, finding basically everything you would need to speedrun Minecraft if you're bad at the game. This is so goofy. Then the speedrunner tosses their bread and potatoes into the lava pit like, you know what? I'm too good for you anyways. So the speedrunner begins digging out a hole to build the nether portal in. Even though that wastes tons of time, they could have just built the nether portal without digging out all of those blocks. But on the bright bright side, at least this guy knows what a rectangle looks like. So they use their fire charge to light the nether portal. And again, I'm just gonna assume you noticed what just happened here. Yeah, going frame by frame, the golden apples are gone and they suddenly have a water bucket. This guy literally has to cheat because he's not good at cheating. Just let that sink in. Well, the speedrunner walks around and they approach a very specific block and they begin breaking it, only to reveal a very, very long hole with water at the bottom of it. And would you look at that, it's the stronghold. And I have to point out how goofy it is that the speedrunner got an advancement for Monster Hunter, but they never got an advancement for, oh, I don't know, finding the stronghold, which essentially means 5 minutes into the speedrun, and that is the first time this player killed a mob. That is just sad. As if this couldn't get any worse, the speedrunner then begins to fill the portal with eyes in the most obscure way possible. 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 8, 7, 10, 9, 11, 12. Oh my goodness. Do you not know how to count in order? Well, the speedrunner is in the end now, and they actually did get an advancement for that, which is good news. They tried a water bucket clutch onto the end island, and they failed doing so. But the speedrunner just never picks up their water again. Buddy, you made a whole elaborate series of cuts just to give yourself that water bucket. And for what? To fail the water bucket clutch? But here's the thing, they actually turn around as if like, oh, I need my water. And then they change their mind again, forgetting that they just put a block on the water source, getting rid of it. Well, when in the end, the speedrunner attempts shooting 2 of the end crystals with their bow and arrow, missing both of them. And then they suddenly start building this structure and digging down. Wait, hang on a second, what's going on here? Yeah, if I go frame by frame, the speedrunner suddenly has 31 more experience points, 2 less cooked chickens, 3 less golden apples, and a partridge in a pear tree. Yeah, who am I kidding? The Ender Dragon's health bar is gone. When the speedrunner digs up to the surface, there is just a pool of bath water hanging out on the end island. What is that? The Ender Dragon's jacuzzi? I don't know. And what really happened here, I don't know if we'll ever find out. Wait, yes, we will find out. Before the speedrunner enters the end game portal, they look up, and what in tarnation happened up there? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Buddy really built the transcontinental railroad on the top of the end island. And yes, just like that, the speedrunner beat the game in, I guess 7 minutes and 12 seconds. But if you factor in all the cuts and all the lost footage, it was probably about 3 hours. This speedrun, oh brother, you are in for a treat. Their Minecraft skin is a sheep with sunglasses and a businessman suit. Who is this, Jay Schlatt playing? Their timer is literally humongous. It is a monstrosity on the screen. And they have a stick. This is very promising. Right off the bat, the speedrunner goes up to a tree, they break it, getting 1 oak log, then they make a crafting table and they put it down. But as soon as they put that crafting table down, it says set on game mode to survival. And when they turn around, there's just 256 oak logs hanging out behind them. How convenient. So the speedrunner makes a wooden pickaxe and a wooden sword, and now they're just in creative mode, literally floating around. And then if I go frame by frame, their timer just jumps up by 15 seconds for no particular reason. And then directly after that, there is a sudden cut where they're just in front of a village. So what I think they were doing is that their timer is actually a video that they're cutting, but they just didn't make the cuts at the same time. I don't know. So the speedrunner suddenly puts themselves back into survival mode after by accident taking 2 screenshots. Then they go into this villager house. And of course, there is another cut. Guys, I know this speedrun is fake, but the end of it is just so ridiculous I had to show it to you. Yeah, in the chest, there's full netherite armor, full netherite tools, whoop-de-doo-dah. The speedrunner is then just in spectator mode. Oh my goodness, do you have no shame? They put themselves into survival mode, then they're in creative mode, and then yeah, the speedrunner says they found this really cool glitch where you're able to find nether portals instantly.
But I found this really cool glitch. It allows you to basically find nether portals like almost instantly.
That is followed by a very sudden cut where they just built a nether portal in front of them and lit it. Yeah, what a cool glitch, buddy. So the speedrunner is now in the nether, at which point the speedrunner begins typing a /locate command, followed by another sudden cut. The chat log says that they were teleported to these coordinates. They're in front of a nether fortress now, but honestly, this speedrunner's video recording software is so bad, it is so dark, you cannot see a single thing. In a nutshell, the speedrunner whacks at 2 blaze rods in creative mode. There's another cut, and then they just drop a bunch of blaze rods in creative mode. I mean, this is just so shamelessly fake. But wait until you see the end. The speedrunner uses a /give command to give themselves Eyes of Ender. The speedrunner is still in creative mode. They are building a nether portal. This guy does not understand what a rectangle is. Like many other fake speedrunners, buddy, that is a square. When the speedrunner returns to the overworld, they find themselves in the same forest that Herobrine might inhabit. What in tarnation? This speedrunner is 5 minutes into their run, and a professional speedrunner would have probably beaten the game by now. But this goofy goober is locating the stronghold with commands and teleporting themselves to it. They are in spectator mode, and they are still unable to find the portal room. This is just so hilarious. So they fill the portal with eyes. I am honestly not surprised that they haven't died in creative mode yet. This guy would probably find a way to do that. Well, when in the end, the speedrunner has the F3 screen plastered all over their video, on top of their monstrosity of a timer, and underneath all of that garbage, you can see a lot of TNT. Yeah, this goober spawned in 22,000 blocks of TNT, nearly crashing their computer, and they still did not kill the Ender Dragon. And yeah, just like that, the speedrunner beat the game in a world record. Well, hang on a second. Their timer stopped at 9 minutes and 12 seconds, but they did not enter the portal yet. Then their game freezes, and you can hear the speedrunner say this.
Wait, what's going on?
Yeah, there is a flash of light. The speedrunner's timer is gone, and they have been brought to the dark dimension to face off with Dormammu. I don't know what is happening here. Nope, never mind. That's not Dormammu. That is the speedrun master. And this terrifying entity decides whether or not speedruns are legitimate. Yeah, well, the speedrun master deemed this speedrun fake, and I guess the speedrunner will not be able to escape their fate, which is being banished to eternal torture. Yeah, the speedrunner literally wakes up in a prison cell with skull and bones, and when they turn around, it's just a video of a cat bobbing his head back and forth. I guess if you don't like cats, that's considered torture? I don't know. Anyways, I just thought this one was ridiculously goofy, so I wanted to show it to you. This speedrun starts off seeming a little legitimate. They've got a timer, everything's looking okay. They are starting off at an angle, which makes me suspicious. Well, the speedrunner looks around for a bit, and at that point, they locate a village, which is very, very lucky. The speedrunner does find an iron golem, but hang on a second, something here is a little fishy. They are hitting this iron golem, but it is not fighting back. So what I'm curious about is, did they spawn in this iron golem with a spawn egg from creative mode? Nope, never mind, that is not the case. The iron golem starts running away and floating. How is this possible? And yeah, that's when the iron golem just starts pooping out tons of iron ingots, iron blocks, a wooden pickaxe, cobblestone, wood. What in tarnation is going on here? Then there is a very, very sudden cut, and the speedrunner finds themselves right in front of a blue flower bed. Yeah, this seems pretty suspicious to me. Well, they dig down, immediately revealing a very, very long hole. And at the bottom, oh, okay, that's not that bad. It's just some diamond ore, no big deal. Nope, never mind. That is a diamond throne with a pillager on top of it. The pillager starts tossing blocks of diamond at the speedrunner, as well as full diamond armor and tools. And after this happens, if you listen to the speedrunner's microphone audio, there is just so much going on. It sounds like there's two people talking at the same time.
Wow, this is a new feature in the game, in the new version 1.
Dude, stop yapping, what the hell are you yapping?
I am so confused. Well, the speedrunner starts building back up to the surface with a diamond block, which is just the most cursed thing ever. There is another sudden cut. I don't know why, but now their experience bar looks like a rainbow. Good for them. And out of nowhere, there is a chat box pop up that says that Lands summoned a new lightning bolt. And in the sky, oh no, is that Herobrine in a cat costume? And if you listen to the audio, oh my goodness, did he just say, yo, this is the cat brine?
Herobrine.
Yo, this is the cat brine. No, it's the cat brine, bro.
Well, Herobrine in a cat costume drops obsidian blocks, floats away into the distance, and then if you just listen to the speedrunner talking, they sound so foreign, which for some reason just makes this more entertaining.
Thank you, Herobrine, from the PP land. Thank you. So I should make the nether.
I'm sorry, did he just say I shall make the nether? Well, the speedrunner ends up making their nether in a really strange shape. Whatever. They enter the nether at a world record 3 minutes. Totally legitimate. Unfortunately though, as soon as the speedrunner enters the nether, there is like 5,000 ghasts just going at it, shooting at the speedrunner, and the audio from this clip is hilarious.
Bro, dude,
Oh, what is going on, bro?
Bro!
Was that the notification sound from a Nokia phone? What in tarnation? Well, yeah, after a very sudden cut, their timer has been reset back to a minute. The chat says set own game mode to survival. These guys are just terrible at cheating. Well, the speedrunner is just kind of hanging out in front of this piglin, at which point they break some netherrack and the piglin falls into the hole. But, hang on a second. How in the world is that piglin holding the block of netherrack? Oh no, don't tell me this is their friend again. Well, the speedrunner throws a diamond block at the piglin. Then the piglin starts throwing ender pearls and blaze rods at the speedrunner. The speedrunner is just pooping out so many blaze rods, and you could just hear them screaming in their microphone, "Is this enough? Is this enough?"
Dude, is this enough? Is this enough? Is this enough?
After this very lucky interaction with a very legitimate piglin, the speedrunner turns around and they find a nether fortress, at which point their friend just put themselves into spectator mode. I'm sorry, but you couldn't have just, I don't know, turned off the chat log? So the speedrunner uses their ender pearl to go into the nether fortress, at which point you can hear another phone notification sound. There's just so many of those sounds throughout the speedrun. I refuse to believe that this man actually has a Nokia phone. Oh my gosh, I feel so stupid. I've been calling it the Nokia phone sound. That's just an Android phone sound. Whatever, Android, Nokia, it's all the same. Anyways, the speedrunner is in the nether fortress, even though they have as many blaze rods and ender pearls as they could possibly need. At this point, you can see that their friend has clearly taken on the role of a blaze. They're floating around like a goofy goober, and they start spawning just a bajillion blaze. The speedrunner is on half a heart. There is a very sudden cut where their timer goes back to 1 minute again. It's very clearly obvious that they died and they tried to cut it out. The text log says up there. I am scared to find out what's gonna happen next. The speedrunner starts running away from the nether fortress. Again, their friend as the blaze is just shooting across the screen. This is just so goofy. The speedrunner starts getting hit by a piglin again. They're almost about to die. Then there is another sudden cut, and in front of them is a ghast just hanging out, chilling there in front of them. And my first guess is that this ghast is their friend. These next few moments are so unbelievably hilarious. Their friend as the ghast just starts spamming billions of ghast spawn eggs. It is so funny.
This one,
After nearly dying, there's another sudden cut. There's a nether portal that's lit right in front of them. Unfortunately though, they take such a long time trying to get into the overworld because this one piglin will just not give up. When the speedrunner finally does get into the overworld, their game is so beyond glitched. All you can see is a few grass blocks, the sun, and the moon. Their friend leaves the game, their friend joins back into the game. The speedrunner then tells us that they're going to just throw a pearl, and there's a new feature with a new command. Well, surprise, surprise, they do not end up throwing the ender pearl. Their timer resets back to 17 seconds, and then out of nowhere, they're just suddenly in the stronghold with the most obnoxious music playing in the background.
Right, here you go, there you go.
The command worked.
Yes, of course it did.
Okay, we now just need to find this stronghold. I mean the end portal.
Woohoo, the command worked, good for you. The speedrunner wastes just so much time trying to find the portal room. They run into Herobrine in a cat costume again, and after wasting so many minutes of my life that I will never get back, there is a cut where they're just magically in the portal room, thank God. The speedrunner then begins crafting Eyes of Ender, even though they already have Eyes of Ender in their inventory. So the speedrunner begins filling the portal with eyes, but there is the most unexpected plot twist of all time.
Hello, boy, hey. It's me, emo guy.
Yeah, that's right. The speedrunner was graced with the presence of Emo Guy, the newest feature of Minecraft 1.21. I cannot believe it. Yeah, the speedrunner is given creative mode by Emo Guy. Oh my goodness, how lucky. And both of their reactions is just so hilarious.
Oh my god.
There you go.
Thank you. Really, thank you. Oh my god. Oh my god.
The speedrunner is in the end. Emo Guy dies trying to swim in lava. The way that this speedrunner beats the game, you will never believe it.
Okay. Yes! I beat
I have to go, bro.
I beat the Ender Dragon, guys.
I'm sorry, but just floating around in creative mode at 2 minutes, using a /kill command to beat the game, followed by the Android notification sound, and their friend saying, I have to go, bro, and logging off of Discord is just the funniest series of events ever. You cannot convince me otherwise. And yeah, just like that, the speedrunner beat Minecraft at a world record 2 minutes and 17 seconds. Never mind, their speedrunner is starting again at 0. And just like that, 0.92 seconds. Holy cow. This speedrun, mentally prepare yourself to see this desktop background a lot. And you're gonna understand what I mean in just a few seconds. Right off the bat, the speedrun starts on the pause menu. They're using Lunar Client, and they are in creative mode. If this guy's goal was to speedrun getting banned, mission accomplished. So they run around for a while until they finally realize, oh wait, I'm in creative mode. So they go back into survival, and now the speedrun can commence. They traverse up this mountain and begin breaking this tree like any normal speedrun until they pause the game and you can hear them say that they're lagging.
Oh, I think I'm lagging.
Thus begins the desktop wallpaper and a lot of really weird noises. A whole minute goes by on their desktop, and when they come back to the game, it very clearly says that they gave themselves 120 oak logs. On top of that, they begin breaking this dirt block, and in this hole is a diamond pickaxe and an item frame and a nether portal. What in tarnation? Well, the speedrunner collects their spoils of war and they enter the nether. At this point, we realize their computer is very slow. So slow that it looks like they're in the purgatory dimension that Squidward got stuck in that one episode of SpongeBob. And as soon as the nether does load in, the speedrunner windows out again. 2 minutes go by. When they come back to Minecraft, you can still see the frame in their previous location, and the next frame is in a nether fortress. Why am I not surprised? So they're in front of a blaze spawner. They're still in creative mode, so they go back into survival. But there's just one problem. The blazes will not spawn. And take a wild guess what their quick fix is. Yep, they window out again. Another minute goes by. They go back to their game, and they give themselves 500 blaze rods. I'm sorry, but you couldn't have done something like 12? And oh, I don't know, tried to hide the fact that you're cheating? Well, the speedrunner continues exploring this nether fortress, perhaps in hopes of finding a bastion. But they press the chat button, revealing the chat history, showing a lot of nonsense. They tried to give themselves an unknown item, Minecraft 150. I have no idea what that is. Locating a fortress, teleporting themselves, and hang on a second. Before they gave themselves 500 blaze rods, they tried to give themselves 6,400. Why would anyone need that many? If you listen to the audio, the speedrunner is muttering to himself like a maniac, just saying, piglins, piglins, piglins. Boom, we get hit with another windowing out. And when they return to the game, the chat history says summoned new piglin, and there's a piglin in front of them. There's just one problem. They did not give themselves or find golden ingots, so they window out again, returning to the game, and their inventory is just full of so many ender pearls. This goofy speedrunner wastes so much time manually crafting blaze powder while they are heavily breathing into their microphone. Are you okay? They make their eyes of ender, and boom, again, we window out. Why am I not surprised? As soon as they return, there's just another portal in front of them. What in tarnation? They enter the nether portal, and upon returning to the overworld, their computer is so slow that they have lost the items in their inventory. They are even further and deeper into the Squidward purgatory dimension, so deep in that they begin falling into the void in creative mode. You can see the sun. They literally resort to almost going into creative mode, even though they realize they're already in creative mode, until they are literally forced to window out to fix their game. They return back to Minecraft in a completely different location. Their game looks like they have cranked up the sharpness to 9,000, and how convenient they found a village. After about a minute, they finally realize, oh wait, I'm still in creative mode, so they return back to survival. Approaching this villager, hitting it, but again, their computer is so slow that the villager is literally levitating. It's like a scene from the Matrix. Again, another window out. they return to the game. They suddenly have 11 beds in their inventory. And I know for a fact, this goofy goober is not going to know how to use those beds to kill the dragon. I would bet my channel on it. This guy is throwing his Eyes of Ender. The computer is so slow that there is like a 10-second delay. And after realizing their computer is so bad and so slow, it is unable to handle Eyes of Ender in the sky, they window out again. When they return to the game window, if I go frame by frame, it shows their previous location. And the next frame is literally the stronghold portal room. What in tarnation? The speedrunner fills the portal with eyes and they enter the end. But their computer has had it up to here with their goofy cheating. The end just does not load. They start typing game mode creative and they realize that is not going to solve the problem here. Their pickaxe is going haywire. It is bugging out. The cardinal directions on the top of the screen is like the compass in Stranger Things. What in the world? Again, they are forced to window out, return to the game, and it looks like everything is fixed now. Nope, things are not fixed. They put themselves into creative mode, and they try to toss these ender pearls into the void, but the pearls are literally floating in midair, or there are barrier blocks beneath them. I have no idea. Is the end stone invisible? I am so confused. Someone please explain this to me. They window out again. 5 minutes have gone by, and when they return to the game, they have so much health, it is covering the entire screen. There's command blocks in front of them. Not more than 5 seconds later, they have only broken a few blocks and they window out again. What more could you need at this point? I'm not really even sure what's different now. Their regeneration is going haywire. And I knew it. I said I'd bet my channel on it. The speedrunner puts the bed down in a completely wrong location. They by accident ignite it, causing a huge mess. They window out again. And when they return to the game, they are in creative mode in midair, just falling. They start typing game mode survival, revealing their chat history again, showing that they used a command to make their damage set to 100,000. This guy literally would not be able to beat the education edition. They attempt beating the dragon. They can't even hit it. They get tossed around into the sky. A few minutes later, the dragon perches again. The speedrunner is hitting him by hand with end stone. They start typing a /kill command. They have no idea which command to use. Windowing out again. 2 minutes go by. They return to their game, and the dragon is just mid-death animation. How they killed the dragon, we will never know. Personally, I don't believe that they would even be able to kill the dragon cheating. I guarantee their older brother went on the computer to beat the dragon for them. I guarantee. And after beating the game, the speedrunner has a complete meltdown in their microphone to the point where they literally sound like a piglin.
We beat Minecraft! Like and subscribe for more videos!
This speedrun looks very normal at first. They're creating their new world. They're calling it Speedrun. The world creation looks very normal, but hang on a second. As soon as they spawn in, they are not looking straight ahead. Did you think this was gonna go over my head? The speedrunner approaches this tree and they begin breaking it, but the first log doesn't break. And then they try the next one and it doesn't break. So they go back to the first one and something is very wrong here. So the speedrunner goes up to this birch tree. They try the same thing. These trees just do not want to break. Then out of nowhere, the speedrun goes into double time like the movie Whiplash. And this time, the tree does break. But when the speedrunner picks up those oak logs, they get the goofiest advancements in the entire world. Ruby and sapphire tools. What is cryorite? The recipes they unlock are going haywire at the top right of the screen. But hold on. If I want to analyze this garbage speedrun, I'm gonna have to slow it down. They break another tree, getting more logs, building a crafting table, some sticks, and wooden tools. At which point the speedrun goes back into normal time and they show off their extreme agility and skill by being unable to kill this pig. Buddy, have you ever played this game before? I do not think so. We're back into double time. The speedrunner digs down and they get some cobblestone. But as soon as they return to the surface, there is the goofiest Star Wars wipe transition on the screen. What, did George Lucas co-direct this speedrun? And as soon as they turn around, they find an iron jungle temple. Yeah, the iMovie style text is just the icing on the cake here. After a very sudden cut, a whole 2 minutes later, and it looks like the speedrunner just crafted a stone pickaxe. So they break these iron blocks, guessing the key code combination to the iron jungle temple, and behind the doors are diamond blocks. Why am I not surprised? There's just one problem here. The speedrunner cannot mine diamond blocks with a stone pickaxe. So don't ask me why, but they just begin mining these iron blocks blocks with a wooden pickaxe. What in tarnation? That's even worse. Then there is a very sudden cut, revealing some really strange items on the left side of their screen. That literally looks like a block that would be in one of my thumbnails. Well, the speedrunner ends up making an iron bucket, an iron pickaxe, and an iron sword, going back into the temple to mine these diamond blocks. And do not ask me why. It is broad daylight and they consume a potion of night vision. Again, I don't think this goofy goober has ever played this game before. Well, the speedrunner tries to pull a fast one on us, making a very sly cut where they're just in a completely different location. And they're breaking their crafting table with an iron pickaxe. This is painful to watch. So after aimlessly wandering around in broad daylight with night vision, there is another sudden cut that jumps ahead a whole minute, and the speedrunner is in front of, I kid you not, an iron temple. What in tarnation? After nearly dying to 2 creepers with half a heart left, the speedrunner breaks this block, and the next frame, they suddenly have every status effect in the book. Strength a jillion billion. So the speedrunner drops down this hole, they fail the water bucket clutch, and inside these chests is exactly what you'd expect. I quote, lots of OP items. And I know you can't see me right now, but I'm air quoting. I kid you not, the speedrunner literally wastes 2 whole minutes organizing their inventory in double time, at which point they discover a village, entering a villager's house that has nothing in it, until there's another sudden cut and the speedrunner is just menacingly watching over this villager while he sleeps, breaking his bed and evicting him. Boom, another sudden cut. We are a whole minute later. The speedrunner is flying around in the sky like a goofy goober, and boom, another cut. They are underground now in a mine shaft, and not more than a few seconds later, and boom, another cut. They find themselves in a hallway just full of cobwebs, and I do not think they understand how to break cobwebs. Buddy, have you ever played this game before? So they just dig beneath them, and while they have wasted 15 minutes of my time, they have the gabagools to ask us to subscribe, and right after that, there's another cut. 3 whole minutes later. I am failing to understand what is the purpose of these side quests. I am just so confused. This guy is hopping around like he's floating on water. Someone needs to explain this to me. And he finds a diamond mansion. The speedrunner proceeds to, by accident, attack the illagers, nearly dying, until there is another sudden cut. They put down a furnace, and they're just wasting precious speedrun time cooking pork chops. Guys, I don't know. I think I'm being punked right now. After 2 whole minutes of cooking pork chops, there's another cut 5 whole minutes later, and the speedrunner is just in front of a ruined nether portal with 2 obsidian blocks in front of them on the ground. Just enough blocks to fill in the portal and light it. So they light the portal, entering the nether, and what in tarnation is that? The speedrunner just starts going crazy, mining every block in front of them until there's another sudden cut. We skip ahead almost 2 whole minutes, and they found a diamond fortress. Oh, brother. But while they are in this diamond fortress, there is a blaze right in front of them. They need blaze rods, right? But instead, the speedrunner decides to attack the zombified piglins, making them very angry. They run away, nearly dying. Then they just jump off of this cliff, again, nearly dying, until another sudden cut where it is 2 whole minutes later, and they're just standing in front of a nether portal with 2 hearts. I don't know how much longer I can watch this. If you thought it couldn't get worse, it does. When they return to the overworld, their portal spawns in the middle of nowhere above the ocean, so they jump into the ocean when they make another obvious cut, and they just happen to, oh, I don't know, be in a boat now. How convenient. If you are making a movie anytime soon, do not let this guy make the cuts. This guy must be Tommy Wiseau and Neil Breen's editor. I don't know. Well, everything seems normal now. Nope, I spoke too soon. 2 whole minutes later, and they're just falling into a cave. Yep, why am I not surprised? They found the iron stronghold. So after wasting a lot of time trying to find the portal room, they find themselves in a dead end. They have a total temper tantrum, breaking blocks in front of them, and now they're typing game mode creative. So the speedrunner has now been playing the game for 38 minutes. They are in creative mode. They attempt to create the end portal, emphasis on attempt. Oh, this is just so sad. They fill the eyes and they finally get to the end in world record time. Literally unable to jump up a set of blocks. There is another cut. They're in creative mode. There's another cut. They're in survival mode, and after wasting another whole minute, they probably have strength a billion jillion. The dragon perches for probably 1 second. They're unable to kill the dragon. We can't see its health bar because it's being covered by this ginormous lime green timer. And after another minute, minute. When the dragon finally perches again, don't ask me how or why, but the speedrunner by accident throws their sword. Whoops. But the dragon is still taking damage and somehow dies. Someone is gonna have to explain that one to me. So yes, the speedrunner gets away with the Guinness World Record for longest amount of time taken to speedrun Minecraft. 41 minutes is true dedication.